Hi guys, Colleen from Walking the Resident Path here. I just thought I'd do an unboxing with you. I'm not sponsored, by the way. This is just a box of books I got from bookgrocer.com. I went through second-hand books and I managed to find 13 books that I wanted to read. So I thought we would just unbox them and see what we got. Let's go. Okay, so I'm just going to start with this one here because I pulled it out of the top earlier. Because I wasn't thinking of doing an unboxing and then I started to pull that out. So we'll start with this. This is Matt Haig. He's the writer of the Midnight Library. It's a great book if you haven't read that, so read that. But this is The Life of the Impossible. Matt Haig's Life of the Impossible. What looks like magic is simply a part of life we don't understand yet. When retired maths teacher Grace is left a rundown house on a Mediterranean island by a long-lost friend, curiosity gets the better of her. She arrives in Ibiza with a one-way ticket, no guidebook and no plan. Among the rugged hilled and golden beaches of the Balearics, Grace searches for answers about her friend's life, and I'm sorry if I said that word wrong, and how it ended. What she uncovers is her stranger than she could have dreamed, but to dive into this impossible truth, Grace must first come to terms with her past. Filled with wonder and a wild adventure, the story of hope and life-changing power of a new beginning. And that's Matt Haig, The Impossible. Okay, next we have, we have The Enchanted April by Elizabeth von Arnim. Colour, fragrance, light, sea. Instead of a Shaftesbury Avenue and the wet omnibuses and the fish department at Shoal's bread, and dinner, and tomorrow the same, and the next day after the same, and always the same. A discreet advertisement in the Times, addressed to those who appreciate wisteria and sunshine, is a prelude to a revelatory month for four very different women. High above a bay on the Italian Riviera stands San Salvatore, a medieval castle. Beckoned to this haven. A medieval castle. Beckoned to this haven are Mrs. Wilkins, Mrs. Arbuthnot, Mrs. Fisher, and Lady Caroline Dester. Each is quietly craving a respite. Lulled by the Mediterranean spring, the violet mountains, and the sweet-scented flavours, they gradually shed their public skins and discover a harmony each of them has longed for, but none has known. First published in 1922, reminiscent of Elizabeth and her German garden, this delightful novel is imbued with the descriptive power and light-hearted irreverence for which Elizabeth von Arnim is so popular. So that is Enchanted April by Elizabeth von Arnim. Okay, then we have Everything is Figureoutable by Marie Forleo. Let's be honest, none of us were given an owner's manual at birth. If you're having trouble solving a problem or reaching a dream, the problem isn't you. It's not that you're not hardworking, intelligent, or deserving, but that you haven't yet installed one belief that changes everything. My mum explained it to me this way. Nothing in life is that complicated. You can do whatever you set your mind to if you roll up your sleeves, get in there, and do it. Everything is figureoutable. Whether you want to leave a dead-end job, break an addiction, learn to dance, heal a relationship, grow a business, master your money, or solve world hunger, everything is figureoutable will train your brain to think more creatively and positively, especially in the face of setbacks. You'll learn the habit that makes it 42% more likely you'll achieve your goals, how to overcome a lack of time and money, a fail-proof test to make the right decision, and how to deal with criticism and imposter syndrome. It is more than just a phrase to say. It's a philosophy of relentless optimism, a mindset, a mantra, a conviction. Most important, it is about to make you unstoppable. That is Everything is Figureoutable by Marie Forleo. Okay, next we have The Jane Austen Remedy. Now this is a memoir by Ruth Wilson. It's Ruth Wilson's memoir. As she approached the age of 70, Ruth Wilson began to have recurring dreams about losing her voice. Unable to dismiss her feelings of unexplainable sadness, she made the radical decision to retreat from her conventional life with her husband in the sunshine yellow cottage in the southern highlands, where she lived alone for the next decade. Ruth had fostered a lifelong love of reading, and from the moment she first encountered Pride and Prejudice in the 1940s, she had looked to Jane Austen's heroines as her models for the sort of woman she wanted to become. As Ruth settled into her cottage, she resolved to reread Jane Austen's 6 novels and rediscover the heroines who had inspired her, to read between the lines of both the novels and her own life. And as she read, she began to reclaim her voice. The Jane Austen Remedy is a beautiful, life-affirming memoir of love, self-acceptance, and the creative power of reading. Published the year Ruth turned 90, it's an inspirational account of the lessons learned from Jane Austen's over nearly 80 years, as well as a timely reminder that it's never too late to seize a second chance. Okay, next we have Waking the Witch by Rachel Burge. I try to keep you safe, but I see now that I can't. They won't stop until they have you. When Ivy's search for her mother draws her to a remote Welsh island, she discovers a dark secret about her past. An ancient and corrupt power is stalking Ivy, and her only chance of survival is to look deep within herself. But not every story in legend is true, and some evils are not what they seem. A darkly spellbinding tale of female empowerment steeped in Welsh mythology and Arthurian legend. So that is Waking the Witch by Rachel Burge. Then we have The Fog by Brooke Hardwick. In this spine-chilling gothic thriller, a woman on the brink travels to a remote writer's retreat to uncover the secrets of her past and lands herself in a deadly situation that could destroy her future. Kate arrives on the wild remote island of Rathlin in the freezing Irish Channel for a 10-day writer retreat. Plagued by memories she can't unravel and desperate to understand the breakdown of her marriage, Kate is determined to leave the retreat with answers. As the retreat director uses techniques to tap into the eerie mythology of the island, Kate becomes increasingly fascinated by him and her surrounds. But when the temperature plummets and the strange therapy intensifies, her memories unspool. Triggered into a series of disturbing flashbacks, Kate realizes her past hides a frightening truth, but can she trust her own mind? Faced with dark secrets and duplicity, Kate must unlock the answers she's so desperate to find and survive the danger she's unwittingly walked into. That's The Fog by Brooke Hardwick. Okay, we've only got a couple to go, well, a few. This is The House of the Spirits by Isabel Allende. Spanning 4 generations, Isabel Allende's magnificent family saga is populated by a memorable, often eccentric cast of characters. Together, men, women, spirits, and the forces of nature and of history converge in an unforgettable, wholly absorbing, and brilliantly realised novel that is richly entertaining as in a masterpiece of modern literature. And basically that's all it says about it, so I guess we'll see. And that is The House of Spirits by Isabel Allende. Okay, next we have The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. There you go. It is 1945 and Barcelona is enduring the long aftermath of the Civil War when Daniel Simpare's bookseller father decides his son is old enough to visit the secret cemetery of forgotten books. There, Daniel must adopt a single book, promising to care for it and keep it alive always. His choice falls on The Shadow of the Wind. Bewitched, he embarks on an epic quest to find the truth about Julian Carax, the book's mysterious author. Soon Daniel is consumed by strange discoveries about love and obsession, art and life, and how they become entangled with the shadow world of books. The Shadow of the Wind is a mesmerizing love story and literary thriller which twists and turns and enthralls with its cast of vengeful souls, threatening inspectors, and innocent hearts. So that is Shadow of the Wind. The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. Okay, the next one is The Lyrebird Lake Ladies Choir by Sandy Docker. Okay, so a choir wasn't about a single voice, it was about a blend complementing each other. It was about belonging. Sisters Eleanor and Maggie have been running the Lyrebird Lake Ladies Choir for 15 years. It has become a haven for the lost and lonely women who have found their home in the stately Federation House by the lake. When Eleanor enters the choir into the All Voices Championship, it offers them all a chance to make up for lost dreams. Single mum Hannah arrives at Lyrebird Lake, homeless after being widowed and hoping for a new start with her son. With her angelic voice, Hannah could give the choir a winning edge. But when Eleanor hears her singing a long-forgotten lullaby, she is transported to her past, a traumatic time when 2 teenage girls were banished from their Irish homes to a faraway country. Will Hannah's arrival mend old wounds, or will the secret she unknowingly carries tear the sisters apart? So that's the Lyrebird Lake Ladies Choir by Sandy Docker. Okay, we have 3 more. Okay, so I'll do these 2 next because these 2 are by the same author, Ellie McNamara, and they're set on the same island. They're not about the same people, but they're set on the same Cornish island of St. Felix. So I will start with A Secret Cornish Wish by Ellie McNamara. What if one summer could change your life? Poor Frankie and her 5 best friends growing up on the glorious beaches of Cornwall St. Felix. Life couldn't get any better. Late one night, the friends discover an old box washed up on the shores and they learn the tale of St. Felix mermaid, who grants wishes to those who find her treasure. Even though they know it's just a Cornish folklore, the friends decide to make a wish for what they each want out of life, Most importantly, they want to always be together. Over the course of the next few decades, as weddings, funerals, birthdays, and more bring the friends back together, lost loves, broken promises, and buried secrets just as quickly tear them apart. But when they reunite for one last summer in St. Felix, will it be for good? And will their wishes finally be revealed? So that's A Secret Cornish Wish by Ally McNamara, and then this is the next one set on St. Felix by Ally McNamara, and it is called Cornish Clouds and the Silver Lining Skies. Meteorologist Sky Matthews does not like surprises. Sky monitors her life like she does the weather, carefully with a scientific eye. So when she finds herself temporarily relocated to the tidal island of the Cornish harbour town of St. Felix, she feels completely at sea. Worse still, she has to work alongside TV weatherman Sonny Samuels, who barely knows his storms from his tsunamis. It doesn't take long for Sky to become enchanted by the strange weather patterns over St. Felix. Sonny is convinced that they are linked to the local folklore, but Sky isn't about to fall for that. Until she meets Walter, a local weather watcher with no qualifications beyond a lifetime of experience. Sky is forced to question everything she thought she knew about weather, herself, and Sonny. Is it possible that Clouds was trying to tell her something all along? So that is Cornish Clouds and Silver Lining Skies by Ally McNamara. And then finally we have The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling. You broke my heart, Reese Penhallow, and we curse you and your whole stupid hotline. Vivian Jones handled the biggest breakup of her life the way any witch would. Vodka, bubble baths, and a curse on her ex. That was 9 years ago. Now Reese Penhallow, descendant of the town's founders, breaker of hearts, and still irritatingly gorgeous, is back. Reese has returned to the quaint town of Graves Glen to recharge the ley lines and make an appearance in the annual fall festival. But when his every move results in calamity, Vivi realizes that having hexed her ex might not have been so harmless after all. As the curse starts to affect the magic of the town, resulting in murderous wind-up toys, an outraged ghost, and a surprisingly talkative cat, Vivi and Reese must put their personal feelings aside and work together to break the curse and save not just the town, but also Reese's life. And that's The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling. Well, I just wanted to show you what I got from bookgrocer.com, and as I said, I'm not sponsored, I just wanted to show you what I got. I hope you have a glorious day and do whatever resonates with your soul. Bye now.